Hi everyone, my name is Yonut and I'm a business analyst in the accounting expertise team. I'm here today to talk about time. Time is money, and having a good business relationship with your partners is crucial for any business. Constant late payments from your customers can cause any kinds of trouble. Not anymore. Odoo 16 is here to help you stop wasting time claiming your money. Today, we are going to see a full customer management flow, starting with establishing credit limits, working with partner-specific reports to check the status of every customer in real time, granting early payment discounts if required, reconciliation, and finally sending customer follow-ups without spamming anyone. So let's get started. There's an exciting new feature in Odoo 16, and that's the credit limits. From now on each customer's form, we can establish a credit limit, and then Odoo will notify us every time we are trying to create a quotation or an invoice for customers whose total receivable is above the established credit limit. Isn't that real amazing? I'm sure many of you will take advantage of this cool new feature. We have also revamped all of the reports in Odoo, giving them a cool new look. Today, I'm going to focus specifically on the partner reports, and I'm going to talk about the partner ledger and the aged receivable. The partner ledger can be used for a real-time overview of the balances of all of the customers, and there are many filters that can be applied to fit any need. Then the aged receivable, as you probably guessed from the name, will give you an overview of all the customers based on the due dates of their invoices. Next up, another new feature, the early payment discount. So from now on, we can create payment terms with a built-in cash discount feature. And Odoo will take it from there and handle all the taxes according to the country's regulation, the due dates, and the payment reconciliation. You will never have to use a calculator anymore for any of these things. Now, let's take a step back and think about a real business flow. Imagine we create a new customer, we assign him a credit limit, we sell him some products, we invoice him, and then eventually we will receive some payments. What's next? Reconciling those payments. I give you the new blazing fast reconciliation tool. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it from previous versions, but this year it has received a great number of innovations, starting with a revamped layout in line with all the changes made in all the other reports. Then we have personalized filters, both on the bank movements and the journal items. Then we can drill down directly from the reconciliation widget to the journal entries, if we want to take a look. And there's a new chatter available for us to be more collaborative and work with our colleagues in the more tricky reconciliations. There are some other new features which I will highlight later in the demo. Now, after we perform the reconciliation, if there are still some open overdue invoices, it's time to send efficient customer follow-up emails. This feature also received some innovations, some improvements in new version, starting with an improved email and SMS templates, which are built in the follow-up reports, and dedicated follow-up email addresses, which appear now on the customer form. So now we can create as many follow-up email addresses as we want, and those will be the contacts receiving the reminders. We can also choose between manual and automatic reminders, and we can rank our customers based on the level of trust we put into them. Overall, the follow-up reports are a vastly improved user experience. Now it's time to go to the database and see a demo. I will go to my accounting dashboard and access my customers from there. So I have my Belgium supermarket, for which, as you can see here, I have two contacts. One will be the invoicing, and the other is the follow-up. So if I click on add, you will see there's a new type of address called follow-up address, and I can set up as many of these as I want, and then Odoo will send the notifications there. So in this case, I already have one conveniently called followup. So this view, the customer form, is the main place from where you can access all of the other informations available in Odoo. So from here we'll have the sales, the purchases, the overdue invoices, all of the invoices, vendor bills, and so on. So we can access everything with these smart buttons. Now what I want to show you is how you can create or how you can grant cash discounts to your customers. So I will go to payment terms from the accounting menu, and here you see I already have two types of payment terms created with a discount. I will access the 3% one, and as you can see here on this menu, there's additional information. I have my balance, which is due in 90 days, but a 3% discount is applied if the customer pays before 30 days. And we can handle that with an example. So for an invoice of 100, if the full 90 days apply, the due date will be 26th of December, and the amount due will be 100. But if they pay early, so 30 days early, then only 97 euros are due. In this way, we can make sure that the calculation is done automatically. So let's see an example. I'll go back to my customer form, and I'll access the invoices and create a new one. I will sell, let's say, 2 units. Oh, sorry. Let me remove this. And I forgot to show you something else. I'll go back to my customer form. In the accounting tab, there is a credit limit menu. So you can see here, my customer has a total receivable of 5,800. Let's say I decide to sell to put a limit of 6,000 euros. I will save. And now on my invoice, as I'm adding a product, I will get notified that the credit limit is only 6,000, and with this document, my customer would go above that, and it would go to 6,700. But I'm going to do that anyway, and I'm actually going to sell him 2 units. And now I'm going to give him an early payment discount. If I go here to payment terms, I can choose either a 3% discount or a 2% discount. But if I don't know how to do that, no worries. Odoo is here to help us. Let me just confirm this invoice. And you see here, there's a new app called Knowledge. And once I access it, in this app, I will have all the Odoo documentation, plus I can create myself entries to help my colleagues navigate the database. Right now, I have an entry called cash discount. And as I go in here, there's information about which type of cash discount should be applied to each customer. So for example, if the amount invoiced is below 800 euros, there will be no discount. If it's between 800 and 5,000 euros, we'll apply a 2%. And if it's above 5,000, then we'll apply a 3%. In the case of this invoice, which now I will reset to draft so I can establish the payment terms, because it's only 1,800 euros, it's above 800 but below 5,000, then I can apply a 2% discount. I'm going to confirm it again, and in my journal items, you will see that there are some new fields. I have a due date, so my invoice will be due 26th of December, but I have a discount date, which will be 27th of October, if the customer pays early. And the discount applied, the 2%, means that he will only have to pay 1,778 euros instead of the 1,815. That being said, credit limits and cash discount with one button, very easy to use. Time to move on to the partner reports. If we go to the reporting menu, we will have here the aged receivable and the partner ledger. I will start with the aged receivable. And as you can see here, I have all the information related to my customers' overdue invoices, or not due actually, because as you can see here, there are some invoices at date, and then there are some which are overdue. For example, my BE supermarket has some invoices which are overdue between 31 and 60 days, and some which are older than 120 days. That's quite a lot, and we'll have to send him a reminder later on. This report can be always exported to PDF and Excel if you wish, and you can change the dates. So for example, you want to see how many invoices were overdue at the end of last month. In this case, I don't have anything, but you can play with the filters and get different kind of information. Next report is the partner ledger. And from here, again, I have information related to all of my customers. There are some filters here, so I'm gonna go through all of them. The first one is unfold all, because as you can see in this view, you will only have the total balance of each customer. But if you want to see the information in more detail, you can either press the arrow or click unfold all, and you will see all the information related to those contacts. There I have a filter based on accounts, so I can add other things in there. For example, the accounts payable. If I add that, I will also see the vendor bills. For the purpose of this training, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the receivables. It's going to be easier. Then on each vendor, on each contact, we can see quite a lot of information, specifically, in this case, the invoices and the payments. If you look at the labels, you'll see a difference between this payment here and this one here. The difference is that this one starts with a P, so the label would be P, B, and K, while this one is B and K. The difference between them is that this one is a bank statement, while this one is a manual payment. So in Odoo 16, you will be able to differentiate between the bank movements and the manual payments based on their label. Additionally, we can see if that payment has been reconciled with an invoice. As is the case here, we have a matching number, A1, which will show me that this payment has been reconciled with this invoice. You might not want to see that information. You might only want to see the open balances. Well, there's a very easy way to do that. We can use the filter only show unreconciled entries. And now I only have the open balances of each partner. All right, so far we have seen the credit limits, we have seen the cash discount, and we have seen the partner reports. It's time to perform a reconciliation. Let's go and take a look at the blazing fast reconciliation tool in Odoo 16. I can access that from my accounting dashboard and click on the button reconcile. And as you can see, the view is completely new and it's so much more readable. On the left side menu, I have my bank movements, and on the bottom here, I have the existing journal entries in my database, while the reconciliation will happen here. I'm not going to demonstrate all the features. If you are interested in this application, there's a talk of one of my colleagues that you can review on our YouTube channel. But in the meantime, I'll focus on the most relevant ones for this talk. So the first thing is that we have the chatter here on the bottom. So I can always log a note, send a message, or schedule an activity for my colleagues and ask questions for any movement in particular. Everything they will answer will appear here in the chatter. So I can always come back later and check it. If I'm performing a reconciliation with which I'm not familiar, so I can always apply the to check button, and I'll show you that in a second. But first, I'm gonna go and look at these buttons here. Those are reconciliation models which are pre-configured to assign a bank movement to a specific account. So let's say this one, which in the label has an internal transfer, I can click the internal transfer button and Odoo will automatically assign it to a specific account which was predefined under this button. But let's say I'm not 100% certain and I would like someone to check this for me, or I would like to come back later and review it. What I will do is, instead of validate, I will just click to check. And as you can see, it disappeared from my to-do list. I can always come back to it with a filter on matched. So if I click on matched, I will see all of the movements which have been matched. and I can decide to reset them if I want. In the case of this one, which has also been marked as to check, if I'm now, let's say, some time passed and I'm completely comfortable with this reconciliation, I can mark as checked, and now it is done. Let's go back to our not matched movements, and it seems here we have received a payment from our partner. So now what I can do is click on this line. Let me try again. And as you can see, Odoo has recognized that this payment, 1,778, if you remember, was the due amount for an early payment from my B supermarket customer. And you will see here that Odoo has matched the bank movement with my customer account, and it has applied an early payment discount on my cash discount write-off, plus an early payment discount on my VAT. And that's because of the regulation in Belgium. So if you grant a cash discount to one of your customers, you also have to deduct a part of the VAT payable, of course. And you can see Odoo handles that automatically. So now if I validate, it will be reconciled, and that's all. So now going back to our situation earlier in our H receivable, we said that the B supermarket has quite a few old invoices, older than 120 days. So how can we handle that? With the follow-up feature. So if I go to my follow-up levels, you'll see I have established two follow-up templates, basically, a first reminder and a second reminder. The first one will be sent after 15 days, the other after 30, and each of them sends different kind of information, for example, an SMS message, a letter, and they're both automatic. Let's access the first one, and we'll talk about the new features on this view. We have, like I said during the presentation, we have an email template and an SMS template accessible directly from this menu, and of course, fully customizable. We can choose if we want to send an SMS or not, a letter or an email, and we can trigger the automatic option, meaning that all follow-ups will be sent automatically. And I can also schedule an activity if I want to for one of my colleagues. It can either be a follow-up responsible, a salesperson, which is the salesperson from the last overdue invoice, or the account manager, which is the person assigned as a salesperson on the contact form. So for now, I'm not going to create an activity. And let's go back into the report itself. So here in the configuration is where we set up the background information, the background activities, and from the customer menu, I can access the follow-up reports. And here I see that my customers Deco Addict and B Supermarket are in need of action, but they're both set as automatic. So when the time comes, the reminders will be sent automatically. If I choose to send it earlier, or if I choose to switch it to manual, I can go in here, and again, I have all these options. I can switch this to manual if I want to. Like I said earlier, I can give a ranking to my customer. So let's say he's a very good debtor. He always pays on time. And if I'm with him on the phone, he can give me an expected date of payment. So he will say he was going to pay by 1st of November. I'm just going to put that here. Now, if I'm comfortable with this, I can also access the invoices directly from here if I want to see any more information, or the customer form. But let's say I'm satisfied with the information I see on the screen, and I'll just click on follow-up. And as you can see, it has chosen my SMS content, my email and SMS templates. And here I have my B Supermarket follow-up address. It has automatically picked it from the customer form. And here you can see the email that will be sent. Once I click send and print, sorry, I did not set the phone number on the customer, so I will not send an SMS. There's an issue with the PDFs, no worries. We'll just see it as a notification here. We'll come back later and send it once I fix the problem. So, to sum up, today we have seen a full customer management flow, starting with credit limits, cash discounts, age receivable, and partner ledger reports. And then we have performed reconciliations and follow-ups. There's a great arsenal in Odoo 16 that you can use to manage perfectly the customer relationship and stop wasting the time claiming your money. As this is the last accounting talk of the Odoo experience this year, I would like to remind you that you can always access the previous talks of my colleagues on our Odoo Experience website or directly on YouTube, and you can still find us at the expert booth until the end of the event. Thank you all for the attention, and let's move to the Q&A.
It was really interesting. So,
just one second, I'm going to put the pad back up. So if you still want to add questions, it's going to be on the screen. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have two questions. The first one, can credit limits be customized on current customer situation? So for example, how much they bought, or if they pay on time or not?
Yeah, but it's a manual customization, so you'll have to take that decision yourself and then go to the customer form and update that limit.
Perfect, thank you. Will the reminder be available in different languages? For example, French, German,
so,
English?
the reminder is automatically translated based on the customer's language, as long as you have that language in your database. So you can, in your database, create different or activate different languages, actually. And then you have to set up, for example, French on your customer form. And then the reminder will be sent in that language.
Great, thanks. The credit limit is available in the POS, in the point of sales?
Actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Okay. What if we don't have any follow-ups contact?
So if you don't have a follow-up contact, you might have an invoice contact, and Odoo will pick that up. And if you don't have an invoice contact, then Odoo will take the contact's email address.
Thanks. What's this? Can this cash discount, is also for supplier invoices?
No, the cash discount only applies to the total receivable. So it's only for customer invoices.
Credit limits in day due. Do you have?
Sorry, can I go back to the previous question? You said the cash discount.
The cash discount is also for supplier invoice.
So the credit limit is only for customers. The cash discount can be applied for suppliers as well, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, in the same way with the payment term.
So we have a question, is credit limit in day due?
Sorry, I don't...
So we have this, the red one. Credit limit in day due. I don't know if you understand the question.
I'm not sure what that means. If you could maybe detail it a bit more.
We will pass to another one. Is Odoo connected to PayPal? PayPal, I don't know if you know this.
No, I don't know that, but actually you can come by the booth later. I can check that for you, or you can talk to one of our developers.
Can you block order confirmation or delivery if credit limit exceeded?
No, at the moment there's no blocking feature. It's only a warning. So you will just get the notification, but you have to decide yourself if you want to move further with the order or not.
Thank you. We have a lot of questions coming, so I don't know which one. Can you distribute notes from the knowledge app to Odoo user from a different company? So if you are working with which company?
I think, but I'm not sure. I think the knowledge is available at multi-company level. But you can again go to our service booth and check with one of my colleagues. She'll be there and she'll explain everything about the knowledge app.
Thank you. Is there a customer statement in Odoo 16?
So the partner ledger can act as a customer statement, and then you can print it.
Okay, great. Do you get the credit limit warning on delivery slip?
No, at the moment it's only quotations and invoices.
Great. Which account is being used when you use the check button to reconciliate?
So it's just a temporary hiding of the movement from the view, but it's not reconciled yet. You have to come back later and choose the account.
Thank you, thank you. So this we answer to that. We answer to that. Do you have several levels of reminders?
Yes, you can set up as many levels as you want. It's a manual operation. You create them one by one. And depending on the number of days when they're supposed to be sent, they will be ranked. So if you have a level that it's sent in 5 days, then can be another one in 30 days and so on. They're ranked. And you can also have negative days, which are reminders before the due date of the invoice.
And so for the last one, can you set up a notification if someone allows a bill over the credit limit?
Again, it's not standard, so you would have to customize it in a way, but at the moment, only if the credit limit is above the receivable, you will get a notification.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Right. Thank you all.